Week 4. My goodness, I feel like I have so much to talk about and I don't even know where to begin. So, as I was reading the chapter last week of week 4, it spoke about how that this week was bringing a new exercise, which was called reading deprivation. And as I was reading this, I was literally like, you're fucking joking. Like, are you actually joking? The idea is that for one whole week, you're not going to read anything. You're not going to read blogs. You're not going to read books. You're not going to read the news. You're not going to read anything. And the idea is to kind of like completely take out all distractions. So I investigated this a little bit more. And as this book was published in the 90s, reading deprivation at that time literally was just to stop reading. But people are now interpreting it in a slightly different way in the modern age. So instead of it just being no reading, it's no streaming, no TV series, no YouTube, no films, no social media. And I was kind of like, okay, how am I going to do this? I don't know if I can do all of it because I think it might be a bit too much. But I've done social media breaks before and I find them really invigorating. If you haven't done one, you should definitely try and do it for like a week and you'll find that you don't miss it at all. But I never really considered the idea of like having a complete break from even reading books or listening to podcasts or watching series. It never really crossed my mind of how much those kind of things are actually sort of taking our attention. So when I read the chapter and knew that and found out that I had to do this, I was really not happy because it sounded really, really hard and I haven't done something like that before. And it was really challenging, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I haven't watched any series. I haven't been like watching Netflix. I haven't read anything. It's been really hard. I have been on social media since like Friday a little bit. Yeah, that happened. I think it's because I didn't delete Instagram from my phone, but it's been really challenging. It's taught me quite a few things. One thing is that I realized we have so much time. Like if you take out your social media, your Netflix or whatever streaming platform you use, podcasts and books, if you just take all of that stuff out, I know these are the things that we enjoy, right? I'm not saying that you have to do this forever, but if you just like get rid of all of that, you realize you have so much time. Like we spend so much time doing these things. And it was kind of interesting for me because I think sometimes we think we don't have time to do our own sort of side projects or things that we enjoy, and we do. I had some of the most productive days ever on Monday, Tuesday without having any like reading or social media or anything. I was like a machine. I've never been so productive, I swear, in like a year. It was insane. Like my attention was, and I've done some social media breaks, but this just didn't even compare. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just like I had like a superpower. Another thing that really surprised me is that it made me want to go out dancing. Like I haven't been dancing in, we're in March now, since like November or December. And this week I was like, no, literally, I think we should go. Because I think sometimes when we're just on our phones or watching series or streaming, we're kind of like living our lives vicariously through our screens and we're not living our own lives and doing like things to get out of our like routine. And I think that this kind of no screens and no reading activity has really taught me that like you need to make room for like play or spontaneity or kind of like doing random things and getting out of the house. And we actually went out on Friday to like an electronic music event as well with some friends, which was really fun with like a DJ from the UK here in Cali. And I haven't been to something like that in ages. I think the last event that we went to here in Cali like that was literally in 2022. And I just think I found myself craving fun. I found myself craving like doing something social and being out and dancing and like, I don't know, I haven't had that feeling for a while where I've really been craving that. So that was super interesting. We had a lot of fun and it was really nice just to do something different. The other thing is that normally me and Lewis, like at lunchtime, we watch like an episode of The Office or something. And recently, obviously in this week, we haven't been, and we actually sit at lunch and have a chat. And it's so weird because we just got so in the habit of just like watching an episode of something while you eat. And it was so much nicer just to actually sit and talk. And not just at lunch, I think also in the evenings, because bless Louise, I was like, you can still watch series and do stuff if you want. Like, just because I'm doing this doesn't mean that you can't watch stuff. And he was like, no, I feel bad. Like, I feel like I have to do this with you. So in the evenings, we were like playing board games some night. Another night, we were like listening to some Brazilian music. So it was like really nice to kind of connect in a different way and be doing stuff together that wasn't necessarily like just watching Netflix and watching another series. And yeah, I just think that like it's really shown me that sometimes when we're like we do use streaming like platforms as a bit of an escape and a way for us to kind of like, I don't know, live our lives through other people. Also, when you take out reading and watching Netflix, you realize that you get tired. Like the evening comes and you're like, I don't know if you ever have it when you go to if you go on holiday somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and when it gets dark, like you start to feel tired because there's not so many things, like say you haven't got internet there or something, and you actually find yourself resting. I found that's what's been happening this week, is it starts to get dark and both me and Lewis are kind of like, right, let's play a game or something and then let's go to bed. Like I'm actually going to sleep a lot earlier. So yeah, that was my experience with reading deprivation week. Talking a little bit about morning pages. So I've had some really interesting realizations this week. I found that I was able to get a bit deeper into my way of thinking. I think because I've not been reading or not been watching things, it allowed me to get a bit more into my thoughts and kind of observing stuff. So I had one day, it was a bit of an emotional one on Wednesday, where I was writing a bit more about things and the different versions of myself that I've had over the years. Back in 2023, I got a really good job. It was like the dream job I'd always wanted. And then after a few months, I got let go because that company didn't have any more projects, and it was just one of those things that just didn't work out. But that whole experience, although it wasn't necessarily like through any fault of my own, like I wasn't laid off because of my ability, but going through that experience of being made redundant, it was really challenging. And I think it really knocked my confidence as a web developer and as a person. And I think it's taken me a very long time to kind of get the courage to get back on my feet again. And I think that this process that I'm doing right now is kind of helping me to connect a bit more with that power and like trying to reduce self-doubt and I guess like go for bigger things again. Because before, I think I was too scared to apply for anything because I just think a rejection, it would have hit me too hard. Like I would have taken it too personally and would have taken it as like proof of, oh yeah, no, you're not good enough. Just like you weren't good enough for that other job. But recently I found myself like applying to jobs again. I'm doing job interviews. I'm even getting rejections and I'm not taking them personally. And I just wanted to like recognize that this week because I think there's a massive progress compared to before. And yeah, I just found that I was having some different realizations over this week. The importance of stepping out of your routine. I think sometimes we're so caught up in doing the same thing all the time. And sometimes we just need to like go to some random, I don't know. So say you have a hobby that you used to like. Let's say, for example, for me, I love salsa dancing, but I haven't been dancing in ages. Go dancing. Like just kind of like step out of your routine and do something different because that's where the magic is. Like I do think we can't just be doing the same things all the time. We do need to just like do some other stuff. The other thing, oh my goodness, I forgot. We didn't even celebrate this. This week, I actually posted my introduction and the week 1 video of The Artist's Way on YouTube, which was a big thing for me because these videos are very personal and they feel very scary to kind of be putting something so vulnerable out here. But I'm really proud of myself. And I think probably from stepping back and not being on social media just kind of gave me the bit more like strength and power to do it because I kind of wasn't comparing myself to other people as much as I normally am, maybe. But this week has felt so long. My goodness, like that's when I said before about us having so much time, like I have felt that this week has been so long. And I also felt this week that like, I mean, I'm in week 4 now and there's 12 weeks. And I was like, oh my God, 12 weeks is a really long time. Like that is literally 3 months. And even some of the days this week, I didn't complete all of my morning pages. I just did a bit of them because I couldn't. I think there was one day I did like a page and a half. It's fine. I still did it. And then another day I did it in the evening rather than in the morning. But yeah, it's been a very long week. And I'm looking forward to being able to read again. I'm looking forward to being able to watch series again. And I think I'll be doing it with a different perspective, or at least I hope. Because basically the point of this exercise was it said, by emptying our lives of distractions, we are actually filling the well. And our reward will be a new outflow. Our own art, our own thoughts and feelings will begin to nudge aside the sludge of blockage to loosen it and move it upward and outward until once again our well is running freely. We gobble the words of others rather than digest our own thoughts and feelings, rather than cook up something of our own. Now, I'm a little bit frustrated with myself because when I found myself coming back onto social media, like on Friday, because basically I logged back in to like post my YouTube like videos that I'd posted. And then I started to sort of look at what other people were doing. And then I started to connect a bit more. And I was like looking on Instagram and getting like drawn in again. And I'm kind of frustrated with myself that I didn't have this weekend, which was going to be really challenging to not be on social media, no reading, no series, no films. I kind of like by looking on social media, I didn't quite get to that point of like breaking point of boredom, where maybe I would have done some stuff. But I still do think this week I've done a lot of stuff. Like, I was very productive. I edited all of my YouTube videos that I've been putting off, posted them, and I've been doing other stuff too. I also gave my computer in for repair. Everyone pray for me. It was something that I've been wanting to do, but I was too scared to do it because it was going to take up to a month potentially if they need to import a screen. But I did it this week, and I think it's because like now I'm feeling like at peace with what happens. Like, I feel like I can't control what's going to happen with it. I do need to do it because if I get a job, not if, when I get a job later, I'm going to need my computer working, and I can't be without a computer for a month. And that I'm noticing that these kind of things are sort of blocking me. So I need to kind of like solve these problems in order for me to move forward. Otherwise it's just holding me back. And having that awareness of like the clarity of, no, this is good for me. Whereas before I'd be freaking out so much about having to give my computer in. I do have my old computer. It's very slow, but it's okay. It's manageable and I can still do other things. And I think I'm not freaking out yet, but this whole process is helping me a lot more because I'm seeing the bigger picture in some things. So my artist date this week, I bought some paints from Dollar City. It's like a cheap shop. After went to hand my computer in for the repair, and then we went to Dollar City afterwards, and I bought some paints and a sketch pad. And then the other day I just did some painting. It was kind of frustrating actually. I'm not a painter. Like, I'm not expecting to be like an artist in terms of like with painting or anything, but it's just nice to do something without a screen. And also like when you can't watch series or do anything, like what else are you gonna do? So I did some where we had like this little one. We have another one. It's like got some other things. And then this one that was like a little mountains. And it was just nice to paint, but also frustrating. I realized I don't know how to paint and I don't really know what I'm doing, but whatever, that's fine. It was quite nice to do it, but I found it a bit frustrating because I'm not good at it and I don't like not being good at something. So yeah, that was another challenge. I just remembered, I'm going to show you my candle every week. This is where we are now. The red is starting to come through. This I'm lighting every morning as I'm doing my morning pages and when I do my check-in. So let's see how it goes over the weeks. But yeah, I think they're the main things that I've learned from this week. I kind of wish that I was a bit more coherent and made these points more succinctly and concisely or in a more digestible format. But this is what I'm doing right now. This is what I feel like I'm able to do. And I'm just enjoying documenting the process. I feel a bit weirder now when I'm recording, knowing that I'm going to post it. Whereas I feel like before when I was recording them, not knowing if I was going to post them, maybe I was a bit more candid or maybe like speaking a bit more openly. Whereas now I can feel myself holding back a little bit or feeling nervous or weird. I don't know. It's just a case of getting used to talking on camera. I hope that you enjoyed my ramblings for this week. It has been such an interesting week. It's taught me so much. If you are doing the artist way and you got to week 4, I'd love to hear about your experience of reading deprivation because it was intense. It was really intense. And I'd love to know, did you do it like as it says in the book, just no reading, or did you take it further with like no series or anything? And also, if you're not reading the artist way and you're just following along just to hear my story, I really recommend trying a week of no socials, no series, no films, and no books, no reading, and see how you get on, because it's going to show you some things. But yeah, anyway, I hope that you have a lovely week. I'm not sure when this video will be posted because we're still a little bit behind, but anyway, sending you lots of love. Thank you for listening.